Tonight we are looking at some scary stories as we look at the CITV classic, Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids. The British animated comedy series that follows Uncle Grizzly as he tries to scare the audience by telling tales with his spider friend Spindleshanks. The show lasted for 6 seasons and 78 episodes, first airing from the year 2000. There was also a 22-minute special. We meet many different characters throughout the stories.
You are welcome to Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids, a series of cautionary tales for lovers of scream.
So now that we have the background, let's take a look at a couple of episodes. First up we have Jamie's school dinners. So Uncle Grizzly starts explaining about how school dinners in the old days was more healthy as they used to eat brains and livers. He explains today's children only eat chicken nuggets as we see what is in a chicken nugget as he laughs away as we see the dinner lady swirl the pot. So at home we meet Jamie as Grizzly explains he loves chicken nuggets and he has a brain the size of a peanut because his parents had given them theirs. The dad explains 2 brains are like 1 big brain as Jamie is happy. Mom tells them to put them in as he does that. We then see the parents teach Jamie about fast food and how that is good for Jamie. The mom shows off as she eats up all the food. Grizzly explains all Jamie ever ate was fast food from when he was a baby to now. He explains if Jamie is what he eats, then he would be junk as we see him get removed in the trash. They say he was missing as he ended up in the junkyard. Grizzly explains everything about this crazy story as at school Grizzly says Jamie never ate lunch. Grizzly explains the head made everyone eat 5 fruit or veg a day. Jamie refused because he tried one once and it was horrible. The head was so worried, she called a dinner lady to make junk food especially for Jamie. So the next day the new dinner lady arrived as the kids got scared of her. She licks sugar off a teaspoon as she greets herself to Jamie as she knows it is him because he smells. Jamie is confused as she grabs his tongue and feeds him something. They go off as she cooks a lot of fast food. Jamie gets fatter as he eats everything. Jamie asks where the food came from as the dinner lady cooks up more food the next day. She explains they are great as Jamie asks if it is chicken as she says no, but Jamie eats it anyway as the dinner lady includes everything in her meals. Jamie eats a radio in his pizza as he doesn't care what he eats at this point. So at home Jamie was struggling to get around his house as he gets spotty. All his teeth then fall out as he starts to get confused and lazy, as he forgets where he lives. The parents are also confused as Jamie then goes to bed early as during the night the dinner lady switches on something as it starts the radio that Jamie ate earlier. Jamie gets up and starts walking around as he doesn't know what is going on. He walks out of the house as the radio controls him. He gets on the bus and walks everywhere as he falls into the water. He swims to the island as Grizzly explains that island is where fat kids get junked. So Jamie is tied up as he can't believe he is on a chopping board as the dinner lady explains what she did. She explains they are on TV for the witches as she starts to cook up Jamie by putting on the spices. She fattens him up as Jamie gets fatter and fatter. He blows up as the witches laugh away. The dinner lady gets his skin to make nuggets. She says they can be chicken nuggets as Grizzly explains she never returned to that school and went looking for new kids around the world. Grizzly tells us to be aware of new dinner ladies at our school as a shark eats us. The episode then ends on that note. Next up we have crocodile tears. So Grizzly starts talking about crocodile tears as he explains kids use tears to get what they want as Spindleshanks wants an ice cream. Grizzly tells him to grow up as he explains tears make eyeballs go rusty as he pulls out his sandpaper machine. So he laughs away as he starts the show. So at a house as we see the family eat up, Grizzly explains everyone cries over very little as we see the dad and mom cry over very different things. We see the daughter cry as she explains she has too much homework and she says she has a headache. Daddy tries to beg her not to have a headache as the daughter puts it on. The mother thinks she might die as the daughter wants to bunk off her homework. We see her in the mirror as she is practicing putting it on. We see her crying about not getting in the front of the car as she cries some more. The mother then gets in the back as the daughter begs for some new shoes. She then starts to fake her own pain as she says she has cut her finger off. She begs for a milkshake and hot dog as she then gets one. she is all better as Grizzly then explains the family were fighting over the TV one day as the daughter kept crying to get what she wants. She says she will be hated at school for not watching the TV show as everyone else then cries. I don't know what she is on about as the dad gives in. He says he is a bad parent as the daughter misses the TV show anyway. So she goes upstairs to the bathroom to cry as she then spots a tear on a finger. She spots a duck. He explains it is a warning from the crocodile to stop crying as he explains she is wasting her tears. The daughter is confused as the duck magics up the crocodile. The daughter is shocked as she doesn't believe it. She crushes the duck as Grizzly explains when the daughter went to the panto. She stopped crying when the crocodile appeared on the stage. Grizzly also explains that she wanted to go for a ride in the limo, but the parents wanted to take the bus. The daughter doesn't cry this time as she uses the limo anyway. They arrive at the cinema as she wanted the best seat in the house. She doesn't cry to get anything she wants anymore as she breaks a statue. Grizzly explains when the daughter wanted chocolate and the mother said no. She still doesn't shed a tear. She then flips the tables and says the parents are horrible to her as she claims they makes her sleep outside. Everyone can't believe it as the dad gets her everything until she wants some ice cream. The girl in front of her got the last raspberry one as the daughter doesn't cry this time. She shouts and attacks the girl as the parents don't know what to do. The crocodile then appears as the daughter is scared. It is then revealed to be an actor as Grizzly explains the daughter is an actor as well as everyone then starts to cry. Everyone throws food at the daughter as something then happens to her eye. The parents are confused. A tear then lands on her hand as a crocodile then appears. The daughter isn't scared as she gets bitten by him. She tosses him away as some blood lands in the water. The crocodile comes back as he grows bigger and bigger. The daughter is finally scared as he then eats her. All that is left is her shoes as the crocodile then disappears. Everyone cheers as they think it is part of the act. Grizzly says no one cares that the daughter didn't come back apart from the parents who cried for 10 years without stopping as he then wraps up the story as Spindleshanks gets spun around. Grizzly starts throwing knives at him as the episode then ends. Finally we have watermelon babies. So Grizzly starts the show as we see some watermelons growing as some then explode. So we see the sun as Grizzly then explains there is a country that is starving of thirst as the place is bone dry. Grizzly explains that the politicians have ignored warnings of climate change as the place is plagued by a drought. The food can't be grown and any child that doesn't wear sunscreen shrinks in the sun as a vulture then comes over and wants to eat the kid. Grizzly explains that the government has passed a law to save the water as there was no swimming pool or drinking water as the crisis deepened. They suggested drinking from the toilet. So we see a hose going off as we see two sisters playing around with water as they are selfish. They ignore all the warnings as they then blame everyone else for the lack of water as they say everyone else has to save water instead. They get letters through the door as they have 3 washes a day. The mother can't believe the bill as the sisters are being selfish. The mother tries to stop them but she can't as the sister says it is only a little bit of water. The mother explains that if everyone left the tap on then no one will have any water at all and it would all go to waste. The sister tells her mother to get lost as she wastes more water. The other sister comes in with a big hose as she shows off. The father says she brought it for her as she says she needed it. The sisters gets into a fight as the mother says there is a drought on. Suddenly there is a honk as some tanks arrive. The sisters say they can continue their water fight. The parents get into a fight as the rest of the world has no water to drink. We then see a swimming pool as the sisters are still enjoying themselves as they say they want to be diving champions. They then jet ski as one of the daughters then say that it is unfair. She says she wants to be an ice dancer as they freeze the pool. She skates away as the dad asks if she is okay. She says she is cold as the other daughter skis away. The dad builds away as the mother can't believe it. The daughter skis down the hill as Grizzly explains that for everyone who uses water, someone somewhere else will go without. But suddenly one day the water dries up as the daughters can't believe it. They get angry at their parents as they don't want to go to school. They say they aren't clean as they lock themselves in the bedrooms. All of a sudden a van arrives as the guy turns up and rings the doorbell as the mother answers the door. The guy explains he can help with their problem as he explains he is a watermelon plumber. He goes to fix the sink as he explains the daughters use too much water. He then says something about using the sewage as he is very scary. The parents are confused as the guy pulls out some watermelon seeds. He explains there were worse things to grow in a drought. The mother then suggests growing the watermelons to help all their friends. The daughters do that as the watermelon grows super quick, but the sisters don't want to share their watermelons. So at school the teacher says she knows how thirsty everyone is as she then shows off the sisters' watermelons. Everyone is surprised and happy as the sisters then butt in and says they aren't for sharing as they cut them up. They taunt the other kids as they eat up, they tell them to drink their own wee as they mock them. The guy watches on in his van as the moon then turns red, it then zaps down on the sisters' bedroom as they turn into watermelons. The mother comes in as she can't believe they have become watermelons. They plant them and look after them as the parents then say they need to go to work. The kids scream from the watermelons as they are trapped inside. So when school ends the kids are starving as they walk past the window as they see the watermelons. They are happy as they eat them. They don't know they are eating the other kids as it is a bit gross. Grizzly laughs as he says it is a sticky end as the episode then ends. There was also a follow-up series of sorts in 2011 as Nickelodeon picked up the show to follow the later book series, Cautionary Tales for Lovers of Scream. The show changed animation style but ultimately remained the same format with Uncle Grizzly's half-brother telling a spooky story within 10 minutes. That incarnation lasted for 2 seasons with 26 episodes being made. However, the original CITV version is the show most people remember. In conclusion, Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids was a very good and entertaining show. It certainly did what it said on the tin as the stories were very dark and scary for kids even if sometimes the plot line was a bit crazy and out there, but it still managed to scare kids and even watching the episodes we watched today for the first time in a long time, it still managed to scare and surprise me, so I think it done a good job. Overall this is a classic but be aware that it might not be suitable for all kids. So thank you for watching. If you have any TV shows you like to see me do, put them in the comments.